Well, good afternoon, everybody, and I apologize for being a day late. I was trying to get these out on Sunday, but between the Petty Boots Jen Lynn birthday party and the premiere of The Last of Us and dinner, ended up being way too late for me to continue. So I just said, okay, fine, I'll do it today. So I'm excited to be using the Pocket Textured Oracle, which I received, I think, well, it wouldn't have been yesterday because that was Sunday. So Saturday, I got it in the mail by Lisa McLaughlin, and copy 35 out of 150, a completely revised and updated mini version of the Textured Tarot. I will tell you right now that I never used the Textured Tarot. Every time I looked at it, I loved it, and every time I picked it up and tried to move through the cards, I hated it. So it's just my hands are small, but that wasn't even the complaint. The complaint was it was just a stiff, cardboardy cardstock. And even Lisa had recommended that it not be shuffled. And I think, I'm not trying to be critical, but I think it's because it just couldn't be shuffled. And I know there's a lot of people that tried to break it in and do all that, and you ended up just bending it or creasing it or permanently ruining it. And so I just put it away, and that's where it's part of my collection. I will never let it go, but I never used it either. And now that I've got the pocket version, I love it. So first of all, oh my gosh, first of all, it is like poker sized. So let me, do I have I must have a regular, I know I do, buried in the pile here, a regular sized tarot deck. Got a lot of non-regulars, but I think I got one in here. I think this is the Oracle. This is a Oracle card, but it is a tarot-sized Oracle card. Oh, well, that's hard to see, isn't it? Can you see that better? So, yeah, thinner, shorter, much more handleable. It is also in a delicious linen textured, very flexy, bouncy cardstock. So yay for that. 1,000 times improved. The shuffle is beautiful. And sometimes I know with these smaller decks they're hard to riffle. This one is not. It shuffles beautifully. So well done. Thank you so much for putting this deck back in my hands. It's absolutely gorgeous. The other one I'm using is the Quiet Rebel Oracle, which I just got by Lynn Thurman. I haven't had this that long, and I'm just winding my way through it. Typical Oracle card size. These are the backs. They are reversible. And I always reverse to the upside down position. It seems to be my nature. Okay, so enough of this blah, blah, blah. So welcome back to Star and Flurry, everybody. Glad to see you. Again, I apologize for being day late. There's just so much going on Sundays these days. I just can't handle it. Between the finale of Severance, which I've watched a million times, and now The Last of Us. And was there another one I'm watching? Oh, and then, of course, the Bosch Legacy, which puts out 2 new episodes every Thursday, I think it is. Just so bizarre. But anyways, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Oops, I just spent the card. D, says Nancy. There we go. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What's going on with you guys here this week? What you can look forward to or be mindful of. Queen of Cups. 7 of Swords. Empress 3. Well, in my opinion, you may be misjudged for something. It's going to cause a bit of a squabble, but in the end, you will be completely and fully redeemed. So I think everything will be fine, would be my guess on that. And then you might need a little bit of a break. Don't we all? So yeah, so Queen of Cups, interesting. So you, I'm guessing you tend to be the mother hen here, and at some point this may have rubbed somebody the wrong way, but I think in the end they're going to find out that in fact your intentions were always good and always meant to improve the team, the group, the duo, the project, whatever it is that you're all focused on. So, and the Quiet Rebel says to you, beware, thought police. This is such a great card. You see it, the guy with the tinfoil hat? Oh my god. Oh my god. And the keyword is autonomy. Let's read about what this... I find frequently that that's such a great card. Like the UFO. This reminds me of Austin. Is it Austin's? Austin Tarot? He, whenever he's reading for, or not always, but often when he's reading for the Aquarians in the group, he'll reference us floating around in our UFOs. What are you doing up there in your UFO, Aquarians? We're not talking about Aquarians right now, but that's what that reminds me of. We're talking fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, what card is this? Beware the thought police. Careful with your tinfoil hat. Okay, autonomy. Guard your mind against unseen influences that shape your beliefs and actions. This card calls you to reclaim your mental freedom by questioning narratives and perspectives that seem imposed. Ooh. Okay. Not every thought that enters your mind aligns with your true self. And that's kind of what I was saying. I think that there may be a misspoken word or something that's going to cause some friction. Take a step back to reflect on which ideas are generally yours and which serve someone else's agenda. Recognizing this distinction allows you to live authentically, unshackled by societal or cultural pressures. True autonomy is not just in actions, but in thoughts as well. Reclaim your mental sovereignty and stay true to your unique path. Your declaration of defiance: I honor my true thoughts and guard my mind from influences that don't serve me. So there you go. And I think that blends very well with this. So yeah, I think the Queen of Cups, while you are generally looked upon as the truth teller, the truth sayer, the nurturer, the one who is really looking out for everybody, something is going to come out that just rubs some folks the wrong way. But I think in the end, you've spoken your truth. You will speak your truth. You will clarify whatever that was, and you'll come out smelling like a rose. So I think you're fine. Just beware for that situation. It'll be popping up sometime this week. I mean, it's not going to last. It's not that big a deal, I don't think. Obviously, with the Empress at the finish line, I don't think it's a big deal at all. Okay, next in line, water signs. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What's going on with you guys today or this week? God, I love this shuffle. Well, the Knight of Cups flew out. We'll leave that out as a emphasis card. I don't usually pick out cards that flop like that, but when one jumps out so succinctly, of course, it has to be a court card, of which I am not well versed. But I think of court cards as feelings and not so much as the archetype person. I think of it more as a feeling. So when I look at knights, I think of active, doing. I mean, I think the Knight of Cups is generally called the charmer. He works through his feelings. He's able to tap into yours. He's very good at it. So it could be somebody influencing you, something like that. Hard to say, but we'll be mindful of him as we go through this reading, or her. Can be a her too. Chariot, 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Interesting. I feel like there is a situation where you are coming together with a close group, be it a family or a close friend group that you may not have seen in a while. You're going to come upon some people that, that aren't necessarily, sorry while I drag my big fat cup through the camera. Needed a little sip of water there. And I think you're going to walk away feeling a little burdened. I do this a lot where I switch cards around, but that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be more like this. I think, and I think this Knight of Wands is having a big effect here. So I think it's a close group. You may feel a little betrayed. You may want to walk away, or you may want to kind of really reconsider how, not necessarily how you're going to deal with this person, but how you're going to reflect upon this person as your lives move forward. They may be a little two-faced. They may be telling you what you want to hear, but in fact, that you know that that's not true. It could be a million things. It seems convoluted here at the end. So I would be mindful of that this week. I mean, it could be a work group that you're really close to. Something goes awry, and I'm not sure what it is, and you're really going to be saddled with some thoughts and feelings about it. And I'm sorry for that. But I think you'll find your way out of it. I don't see any disastrous cards here, but this is more of a be aware situation. The Oracle is saying, ooh, the Great Unplug. We've seen this card before. Again, this is one of these oracles where it just kind of has a couple of really good message cards that it likes to pull out a lot. And so this one, and this is one of them, the Great Unplug. And I really like this because in terms of this group, because it may just be saying, look, you need to pull the frick out of this situation. Not maybe this situation, but pull it out of your head. There's no swords cards here, and so it doesn't look like you're carrying that weight within necessarily a logical sense of your mind, but you're certainly carrying it in your feelings. There's a lot of feelings and passions here. So the Great Unplug, what is the... This threw me off the last time. This book is written in alphabetical order, and the is the first word. Oh, that's the upside down. The Great Unplug. Hold on one second. I'll get there. The Great Unplug, detachment. In a world filled with distractions, stepping back is sometimes the only way forward. Yeah, that's kind of there. Yeah, exactly. This card calls for detachment, not just from technology, but from emotional entanglements and mental clutter. By unplugging, you create a sacred space for clarity and renewal. Detachment offers a fresh perspective, helping you see what truly matters and refocus on what's meaningful. Embrace the stillness and let go of anything that weighs you down. Hello, Ten of Wands. And that's the thing about the Ten of Wands is, look, it's hanging by a thread. And it's okay to unbundle some of this crap. Sift through it. As I frequently say, sift through the rubble and see what you can let go of and to ease this burden that's going on right here. Embrace the stillness and let go of anything that weighs you down. This period of detachment can be a gateway to deeper understanding, allowing you to return to life with renewed energy. Declaration of Defiance: I detach and let go of distractions, returning to what truly matters. Perfect. There you go. Couple signs, water signs. Next, air signs. What are you doing up there in your UFOs? I love Austin. He's so great. I watched a lot of him early on in my learning curve. He's a guy who's really, God, he does like a 9-card spread, and then like a series of oracle cards and astrology cards. To me, he seems, I mean, I don't know, because I don't know a lot about astrology and that kind of stuff, but he seems really well versed in it, and he's fun to listen to, and he's funny. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. And he's usually pretty responsive on comments too. I've made a few comments, and he's always been very, very nice to respond. Okay, where are we at? Air signs. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's on tap for this week, you guys? Ace of Swords. Having a good week of words. 3 of Swords. Maybe too good a week. And the Star. Oh my God. So, once again, we are... the truth will hurt, and it'll either hurt you by using it, or you'll be hurt by it, or you'll hurt someone else because of it. But just like the Queen of Swords, um, I don't think the truth. I think of the Queen of Swords as often speaking without innuendo, without temperance, and this to me kind of speaks to that while we are having one of those weeks where we are quite eloquent, or someone else is having one of those weeks where they're being quite eloquent, you can really stab someone's soul with words. I mean, actions hurt, but at least you got your senses wrapped around it. With swords, it's almost just your head; it's all stuck in there, and that's tough. But I think in the end, and I've always said this about the Queen of Swords too, these are never things that need to be left unsaid. They just may be spoken, and they're rarely spoken too soon. I always think of the Queen of Swords as kind of laying it flat right when it needs to be laid down, and that may be what's going on here, and it's going to sting. Whether you're the deliverer or the delivery, I don't know. But I think in the end, you're going to come to understand why it happened, how it happened, and move forward in a very good way from that. So I don't see this as being the end all. I think you're definitely going to find a way out of that pain or the pain that you caused that other person. Because again, this is kind of the mentalness of it. This is the stuff that gets stuck in our heads. These are the loops that we get stuck in our heads that can't seem to shake. And that's where you really need, sometimes it's worth reaching out to somebody just to speak your mind, to say, God, this really bugged me. And then blah, 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 and say the words. I'm not saying that that's this going on. I'm saying whatever this is it might be worthwhile kind of spilling the tea, spilling your guts to someone who's willing to listen, just so you can get it out of your head and into the verbal consciousness of yourself and others. I don't know about other people, but for me, sometimes that's my biggest problem. Is I'm not a big people person. I mean, I'm very good with people, but I don't like being around them very much. But on the other hand, man, I need to talk out my stuff. And so, my dad and I used to connect on a deep level in that way because he was willing to listen. he was absolutely willing to listen. And I was so thankful for that. And he probably got bored. He'd probably pick up the phone and go, oh, God, here we go again. And then I would be, rah, 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 rah. But the thing is that sometimes, we're not as good at listening to ourselves unless we know that there's somebody on the other side reflecting on it, whether they really are or just letting you talk. Who knows? But you get the words out there, and sometimes when you spill the words out of your mouth, you come back around and understand what it is you're saying or what it is that was said to you that makes more sense. Or the person you're explaining this to will look at you with that look like, well, it's not that far off base. Things, those little nuances, those little innuendos or nuances from people's faces or the way they speak to you, the innuendo that they use, you will begin to reflect more clearly upon whatever this issue was. So, that would be my advice in looking at this is go ahead and, let it be spoken or let you be spoken to. But in the end, I think you're going to find that it was an important thing that needed to be said. As usual, I say that. Oh, we're going to put that card away. You said that enough, Oracle. You need to find a different card. Sorry. Although that may be what you want. We'll keep this as a secondary card, but we already read on this one, so we're not going to. Come on, Oracle. Give me another card. Give me another card for the who are we talking to? We're talking to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, the Oracle is reluctantly speaking. Reclaim the mundane. I love those women. Oh my God. Reclaim the mundane. Mindfulness. What does this have to say? Reclaim the mundane. Mindfulness. Life's beauty often lies in its simplicity. This card invites you to bring mindfulness to daily routines, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. extraordinary. By fully engaging with even the smallest tasks, you find presence and purpose in each moment. The mundane is not insignificant. It's a foundation that, when approached with intention, reveals layers of meaning and connection. God, isn't that truth? Well, and you know what? Yeah, the mundane is not insignificant. It's a foundation that, when approached with intention, reveals layers of meaning and connection. Instead of viewing routines as burdens, see them as opportunities for grounding. Cultivating mindfulness in your day-to-day life opens a path to finding sacredness in simplicity. And sacredness in simplicity is often just through simple conversations. As I often say, that conversation with your neighbor on the front porch, over the fence on your patio, across the street with your neighbor, with your folks across the street. I have conversations with my friends Randy and Lisa a lot, and we're yelling across the street at each other, laughing, carrying on, and those always uplift me because they're just simple, easy conversations. We're not digging into the world's problems. We're just saying hi and how about those deer, that kind of thing. We have a pack of deer that keep coming through. They've been coming through almost regularly every day. There's about 12 of them, and they wander in and partake of our, as we refer to our plant life, our plant and landscaping as their all you can eat buffet. We're open 24/7. And they usually hit my yard first, and then they hit up Lisa and Randy's. And so we kind of let them partake for a while, and then we shoo them away when they start to get close to some of the good stuff. Like I really had to mind my crocuses while they were swinging by. I don't know if they would eat them. They never did, but I always kind of knocked on the door before they got too close. So there's that. Anyways, declaration of defiance. I find beauty in the simplicity of my daily life. I bring mindfulness to every moment, discovering the sacred in the ordinary. And that is so, so beautifully true. Reminds me of Tammy Pye. On some of her videos will often show just her walks through. There's a garden that she does a lot of work in. I don't know if it's a community garden or exactly. I haven't heard her speak at length about it, or I just missed that part about that particular garden. But she walks through it a lot. I know she cleans it up a lot, and I'm sure that's a place of simplicity for her. And it's reflected in the way she videotapes it and speaks about it. It's really cool, and I think those can be really mind clarifying assaults, which are really good for us every day. Good for us. Okay, Earth signs coming up. How you doing? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I believe. God, I hope I got that right. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. How are you all this week? Let's find out what's going on in your week. 4 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and the Moon. And 10 of Pentacles underneath, energy under the deck, as they say. This is gonna be a lovely, warm, nice week for you. But somebody might be fibbing with you, clouding the truth in a way. I don't think they're out and out lying, but perhaps leaving out a fact here or there. So if you, my first thought is if you're getting together with family or close friends and you feeling that somebody's just a little off, I would probe a little. Probe in a nice way. You don't have to tell me everything, but find out if they're doing okay. And if they give you a nibble, take a bite. Sometimes when things are really rough, we just don't want to talk about it. But the moment we do, that's the moment we start feeling better. So that's what I think this is about. I don't think it's somebody out and out lying to you. I think it's somebody withholding the truth from you, and it might be the truth. And again, with the Moon, it might be that they're struggling a little. They're having maybe a little mental health issue. I'm not talking wackadoodle stuff. I'm just saying that they might be a little depressed. They might be feeling not quite themselves. And sometimes just a good conversation is what they need for some guidance, be it to see somebody more, more, what am I trying to say, more authorized or capable of giving them more like a therapeutic situation, or if they just need to chat. Sometimes we just need to chat. And I think that's what this is reflective of, because the rest of this is quite warm and friendly and good and warmth of a fire, family. What's the word I'm looking for? Reminiscent. This is all good, and this is just that little bit of illusion going on with someone that you may be quite close to. So I do a little probing, nice probing, and again, don't push them too far, but sometimes pushing is necessary. What the frick is going on with you? I've said that. Of course, I'm an Aquarian, but I've said that more than once. And sorry, I meant to leave these cards out. And let's see what the Oracle has to say. The Oracle cannot tell me to unplug. Did I pull that card? I didn't. So let's shuffle and cut. We'll do a shuffle and a cut. Soul Contraband. Ooh, that's interesting. I have no idea what this is referring to, except it says oh shoot. Sorry about that. I had a little camera mishap. Anyways, we're back. So Soul Contraband from the Rebel Oracle, Desire. Doesn't that look like fun? Oh my God, I want to go to that party. That is so cool. Look at the peacocks and the disco ball. Oh, these pants. I love it. Okay, what does this have to say? Quiet Rebel. Soul Contraband. Desire. Oops, sorry. I lost my microphone. I hope you could hear me. Desire. Hidden desires linger within you, waiting to be acknowledged. This card invites you to explore the parts of yourself that you've kept under wraps, even if they feel forbidden or unconventional. By bringing these hidden yearnings into the light, you allow yourself the freedom to honor what you truly want. These desires are pieces of your soul's journey, and recognizing them can bring new depth and meaning to your life. Embrace them without judgment and consider what role they might play in your path forward. In facing the secret wishes, you might find a beautiful source of inspiration. Declaration of Defiance. I honor my deepest desires and embrace the parts of myself that have been hidden. And so now what I'm thinking is that this is you, that you are the one withholding a little bit, and that maybe it's time to speak up, let someone in, and speak honestly to them about the things that you hold dear. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping in. It was fun, and we'll see you next week. Talk to you later. Bye.